everyone, this is GAC 022. My name is Inés Arguelles Andrade, this is assessment event 3, and today I'll presenting the international expansion strategy of the company One Car Now, well known as OCN. We'll comparing the expansion between Brazil and Australia as a potential launch markets for their car subscription service. Agenda. Here's a quick overview of today's presentation. First, I'll introduce the company and the project. Then I'll explain the method used. After that, we'll explore the personal analysis of both countries, followed by an expert interview inside, and finally, I'll continue with my recommendation. OCN is a mobility startup that offers flexible car subscription instead of traditional car ownership. Users can rent vehicles monthly with the option of after they rent it, they can buy it for a lower price. The goal of my project is to find out which country is better for this launch, Brazil or Australia. The OCN services promise a lot of insight of what a car subscription vehicle is, and we need to compare if these countries are prepared for it. I focus on market conditions, consumer behavior, legal systems, and financial infrastructure. To analyze both markets, I use mixed methods approach. First, I interview two experts, Manolo Cangas, the founder of OCN, and Mariana Lopez, the head of international strategy at CAP. I also use secondary sources like Deloitte, PwC, ADLA, and Statista to gather data on financing, regulations, and mobility trends. The main analytical tool I used was a pestle analysis, which looks at political, economical, and social, technological, legal, and environmental factors. Peso. Let's begin with Brazil. Brazil is less stable and has complicated regulation politically. Economically, it's a growing country but struggles with inflation and limited access to credit. Socially, cars are a status symbol, but affordability is an issue. Technology is advanced in urban areas, but rural regions are struggling with the technology. The legal system is low and tax heavy, and while pollution is a problem, interest in electric vehicles is increasing. Overall, Brazil has big potential, but also big challenges. Then, peso Australia. In contrast, Australia has a very stable and political and legal environment. The economy is strong, and most people have the access to finance. Socially, Australians are more open to subscription models. They are tech savvy and are used to digital services. The protection laws country has an excellent 4G and 5G coverage and strong data protection laws. It also promotes electric vehicles and sustainability. Interviews. The experts interviews gave me valuable insights. Manolo Cangas explained that Australia are open to car subscription, not because they need to stop owning cars, but because they want more options. He highlighted that Australia's trust in technology and its ease of doing business. Mariana Lopez shared that Brazil has high potential, but also requires a strong local presence to build trust. She said, Australia is where you can test the model, and Brazil is where you show it can work. Both experts emphasize adapting to local cultures, not using a one-size-fits-all strategy. Conclusion. Based on all this information, our recommendation is to launch OCN first in Australia. The stable business environment, access to credit, and customer readiness make it ideal for a smooth and fast launch. Brazil is very attractive, but it should be approached as a long-term opportunity. With the help of local partnership, this phase strategy allows OCN to validate its business model in Australia before scaling up in Brazil, just like Uber did in his times, in both markets. Reference. Here are the sources I use, including industry reports, interviews, and government data. You have any questions?
Why not launch in both countries at the same time?
Launching in both countries at the same time requires double the resources and increase operational risk. By focusing on Australia first, OCN can test its model and build brand credibility before entering Brazil, which is more complex.
And how did the interviews impact your final recommendation?
The interviews helped me see beyond the numbers. Both experts highlighted how important it is to build trust and adapt locally. Mariana's point about local partnership in Brazil made me realize why a gradual entry is smarter.
And what is the biggest risk of entering Australia first?
The main risk is market saturation. Competition is strong, so OCN must clearly differentiate its health with great UX, pricing, and branding.
And what makes a car subscription attractive to Australians?
Australians value flexibility and convenience. They are seem familiar with subscription models in other areas like streaming services, and are open to applying the same idea to cars.
And do you think Brazil could become a better option in the future?
Yes, definitely. As Brazil improves access to credit and simplifies regulations, the market could become even more profitable than Australia. But OCN needs patience, strong local knowledge, and the right timing.
Thank
Any more
you.
questions?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you for your attention.